Alright guys, so 2 months back I did a video of the Corsair 3500X cabinet. Like, it was just a build video, and a lot of you in the comments said that, hey, why don't you do a full review of the cabinet, because you guys are really apparently really interested in this cabinet. So well, it's been around 2 months since I've been using this, and I think right now Sahil is in a pretty good position to review this cabinet. So well, you asked me and you asked me nicely, so well, Sahil is gonna give it to you. Okay, so first of all, this is a mid-tower cabinet. It's called the 3500X. It is available in 3 versions. One is just the plain 3500X, where you just get this cabinet. Then is the 3500X ARGB, which is the one that I have. So what you get in the ARGB is you get these 3 RGB 120mm fans by Corsair here. And the third one is the 3500X iCUE Link cabinet, where you get the Corsair iCUE Link hub to use with the other Corsair RGB products, like the cooler, which I'll show you later. So yeah, after 2 months, I think I'm in a pretty good position to tell you everything about this cabinet and the things that I like and the things that I don't like. So first of all, let me start with the design. Now, if you see, this is the design of this cabinet. It's like all straight lines, you know, there are no angular cuts, there are no protrusions. It is just a very, very straight, liney kind of a design, and it's a totally screwless design, so that actually amplifies the whole straight line look. Like, if you see over here, if you see here, you can't see any screws protruding out, you know, so that straight line finish, that straight line vibe is really captured very well over here. There are no screws pointing out. So, you know, if you're in that kind of an aesthetic, that really minimal aesthetic, which is actually pretty much in fashion these days, where everything is like just very straight line, and you know, no angular cuts, no curves, this cabinet will actually go really well with that vibe. I mean, this cabinet really matches that vibe. By the way, this is also available in white color, and I think this design is more suited for the white color, because white color will just look so sexy with that, all the straight lines. I mean, you know, from afar, if it wasn't for the cables behind, you can actually mistake this for being just a box and not a PC cabinet. So that's really great. I mean, that's a really, it's a rare thing to find cabinets like this, which are perfectly straight. Now, the next thing, I mean, obviously you notice that there's no front panel over here. So obviously that means no front airflow. We'll talk more about that later. But that whole see-through vibe is just really good. I mean, if you're into showing off your PC, if you're into all the RGB lights, as you know, the more RGB lights you have, the more FPS you get. So yeah, this cabinet is very well suited for that. I mean, just you know, just the see-through look. And another like really nice thing. So if you see this part, there's nothing. It's totally plain. So it's a very, very clean look, clean and a classy look, and I really like that. Next. So if you're the sort of a person who just loves, like, you know, tinkering with your PC, just, you know, taking stuff out, putting stuff back in, swapping stuff, this cabinet is for you, and I'll tell you why. There's no screws whatsoever. So I'll just open all the panels here and just see how like seamless it is. Here, there you go, it's out. This one, there you go, it's out. This one, there you go, it's out. This one, there you go, it's out. I mean, how easy can, I mean, I don't think there's a cabinet that really makes this process more seamless. Not only is it totally screwless, but the mechanism of, you know, just putting this here and taking it out is just so well done by Corsair. It's really high quality. You know, these things and the clips, they're made of really, like, they're machined with high precision, and that really shows because the mechanism is so good. So that's another great thing about the cabinet. Now next, you know that there's no panel over here, so obviously you can't mount fans over here. So what Corsair has done is they've given you the mounting options over here. So this is the ARGB version, so they've given you 3 fans here. You can mount a 360mm cooler over here, and also a 240 and a 120mm cooler. You can also mount a fan over here. You can mount a 240mm fan over here. So they've given you a lot of mounting options for the cooling. Not having a panel over here, yes, the cooling performance is somewhat compromise, but well, it's not that bad. If you're having a gaming PC, if you're running like the top games, you won't really have a problem with the cooling because there's still enough cooling options, and provided you do put in the fans that are needed. If you don't have the fans, well then you can't really complain about your PC not cooling. Yeah, now let's talk about like this one weird aspect which can be good for some and can be bad for some, is this power supply area. So you can see this is like totally fixed. It's non-removable. So now if you have a normal power supply unit and you want to like access the power supply, you want to like put in a cable, you can't because this place is blocked off. So what you have to do is you have to come over here and you have to kind of unscrew the power supply over here, take it out, and then kind of remove or add whatever power cable you want, and then kind of screw them back in. So that's just a little, it's just a little annoying. The power supply issue can be mitigated, and I'll tell you that by the end of this video. Now this cabinet also offers you vertical graphic card mounting options. So if you look at the design language of this cabinet, you see this whole like this Corsair shape. So that's really nice. That's a nice touch to have. There's a big dust filter over here. The good thing about this filter is that whenever like some small screw, whenever I kind of drop it, it always collects on this dust filter. So that's nice. Yeah, you can see I've already, there you go, that's a screw. So this thing does a good job at collecting that. Let me just put this back in. On this side, on this panel, which is this, you get another dust filter, which is magnetic and removable and washable. Corsair has done the smart thing is that they've given you the power button and a USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 and USB-A 3.1 ports over here, and they've given it on the top, not on the front. So that's good because usually if your PC is lying below, then you can like kind of just access it very easily. Would have liked some more, maybe two more USB-A ports and one more USB-C port, but that is kind of a luxury. It's still not bad. This is still more than enough actually for a normal mainstream PC. Now let's talk about the cable management. So this cabinet is actually optimized for cable management. So because Corsair has given you the fan mountings over here, this cabinet won't be able to host an E80X motherboard. Usually mid-tower cabinets are able to take in an E80X motherboard, but this one, because the space is gone, so all you can have is just an ATX motherboard. So no E80X motherboards over here. So people who, if you're in that really small percentage of people who use an E80X motherboard, sorry, this cabinet is not for you. Now, I did mention that this cabinet is optimized for cable management. If you can see the kind of cable management I've done over here, a lot of holes over here, a lot of holes over here, a lot of holes over here to do your cable management. And I think this is a pretty decent build that I've done. I mean, I've done a pretty decent job in hiding the cables. I think I've covered most aspects of this cabinet. Yes, some things that generally I don't like with glass cabinets is that they're big time fingerprint magnets. So yeah, you have to like kind of keep cleaning them, and especially if you're like me, if you keep removing them, adding stuff, removing stuff, putting the cabinet back, fingerprints. So yeah, you'll need to keep a duster handy with some cologne spray to just get rid of the fingerprints. So yeah, that's always the big issue with glass cabinets. Now let me talk about the whole power supply problem, because that is a major problem. If you're using a normal power supply, this thing, I mean, it can be a deal breaker. For me, it would have been. But what Corsair has done, Corsair is trying to upsell you its other products, but it is giving you some value, and I'll explain to you why. So Corsair is now offering Shift power supply units. So this is the RM850X Shift. Now, this power supply unit is actually designed in a way, so this just arrived yesterday, and this is ATX 3.1 by the way, so it supports all those modern features. So this is the back of the power supply unit. So the power supply unit is going to go like this. Now if you notice behind, there are no inlets behind, which is normally the case with power supply units. All the inlets are on the right hand side. So now when I place it over here, this cabinet is meant for power supplies like this. So now when I do place the power supply over here, the cable management is just going to be amazing. Like, I'm just not going to see any extra cables outside. So I think I covered most aspects of this cabinet in this video. Now, If you want me to do a video of building this cabinet, of rebuilding this cabinet with a 360mm AIO cooler from Corsair, the iCUE Link Titan, which will match perfectly with this, and also the RM850X Shift power supply unit, which is kind of made for this, drop in a like, and if I get enough likes, I'll do a video of building the PC with all these components. That's it from my side. Sahil out.